Welcome to Session 6. The tools we've talked about so far in this course will develop a deep sense of belonging and significance for your kids. They will train them to be independent, responsible, and self-sufficient, and this session is no exception. However, in this session, we're only going to cover one tool, but trust me, it is not to be missed. This tool packs a giant dose of positive power for your kids. It teaches essential life skills and strengthens family bonds. I can't wait to share it with you, but let's first review the big ideas we learned in Session 5. Big idea number 1. Sibling rivalry happens in large part because of competition within the family. There will always be competition for attention, for stuff, but we can manage it using mind, body, and soul time and the other toolbox strategies to make sure our kids are getting their emotional needs met. We also want to limit the labels we put on our kids to reduce the competition. Some labels are obvious, but others, like having the go-to kid, are not so obvious. Anytime we label kids, by default, we're creating comparisons between our kids and they get the message loud and clear. Big idea number 2. When siblings argue, the best thing that we can do is stay out of the fight. We have to reveal this in advance by letting them know that we're not going to get involved and that we have confidence that they can solve the problem on their own. And then when a conflict arises, we leave the room and stay out of it, unless it's absolutely necessary that you jump in. Big idea number 3. A big part of handling sibling fights is to take time for training in advance. Kids need to know and follow the 3 rules for community living. They need to learn respectful communication, including I feel statements, and respectful requests rather than demands. And they can use tools such as calm voice and sibling mind, body, and soul time to reduce the number of conflicts. They also need to learn that they can't control their sibling or their friend, but they can control the environment and themselves. Big idea number 4. If it becomes clear that a fight's getting out of hand or your kids just can't reach a resolution, it's time to get involved with helpful adult intervention. Without taking sides or labeling a victim an aggressor, sportscast what you're hearing from each child. Then move quickly towards encouraging them to come up with a solution. You should only suggest solutions if they can't come up with anything on their own. Big idea number 5, sometimes kids just can't come up with an agreement, and at that point, it's time to put them all in the same boat. You structure all in the same boat like an either or. Either you can find a way to share the Legos, or you'll both lose them for the rest of the day. This is a very effective tool, but it should only be used once you've gone through all the rest of the steps. Training and conflict resolution skills is a long-term proposition. These are advanced skills and they won't happen overnight, but it is worth the investment in time and effort. By equipping your kids with conflict resolution skills now, you'll reduce the sibling squabbles and you'll prepare your kids to positively deal with conflicts that come up with their peers and coworkers and an eventual partner. Now, in this session, our focus is on one tool that actually incorporates many of the tools we've talked about throughout the course. This tool is called the family meeting, and it will empower your entire family. Now, you might be thinking, why do I need a family meeting? Don't be thrown off by the word meeting. This isn't like a boring work meeting. The family meeting is fun, and it's all about building a power-packed sense of belonging and significance. You are going to love it, and your kids will too. First, let me define the family meeting. It's simply time spent together as a family each week in which we connect, solve problems, make decisions, and have fun. To explain the family meeting tool, I'm going to cover the 5 W's: who, when, where, why, and what. So let's begin with the who. Who should attend the family meeting? Well, everybody in the family should attend, the parents and the kids. If you happen to have grandparents living with you or a nanny, invite them to attend as well. This is an opportunity for everyone to come together for some fun family bonding. The next W is where. Well, you'll have your family meeting at home. It could be in your living room or around a table, anywhere where you don't have a whole lot of distractions. For that reason, we typically don't recommend that you have a family meeting over a meal just because there are so many distractions with mealtime. Just pick a place that works for you and your family. The next W is when. We recommend family meetings be held weekly for a few reasons. First, we meet weekly. It gives us a chance to come together and connect on a regular basis. In our busy lives, it might be the only time during the week that everyone is together at the same time in the same place. Second, a family meeting is like mind, body, and soul time for the whole family. Just like we do daily mind, body, and soul time with each child, weekly family meetings offer a consistent dose of connection and a sense of belonging and significance for the whole family. If possible, it's best if you can have your family meetings on the same day and at roughly the same time every week, because then it just becomes part of your routine. And when it's part of the routine, you're more likely to do it. If your kids are a little older with a lot of activities, it might be difficult to meet the same time every week. In that case, just go ahead and schedule it when you can during the week. Sunday evening is a great time for a lot of families before everybody starts the busy week. Just figure out what makes sense for your family. The important thing is that you just do it. Now, let's talk about the why of family meetings. Do you really need one more thing on your list of parenting to-dos? Trust me, this will be time well spent. Family meetings give your kids a power-packed dose of belonging and significance. Let me give you 4 reasons why you'll want to do family meetings. Number 1, family meetings give your kids a voice in family decisions. In an earlier session, we talked about how in a democratic family, everyone has an opportunity to have their voices heard. Parents still call the shots on the big stuff, health, safety, and the non-negotiables, but kids can have an equal voice on a lot of matters that pertain to the family within boundaries that you set. For example, you might decide where the family vacation is going to be, but kids can be involved in what activities you're going to do within a set budget. You might involve them in meal planning for the week and selecting the restaurant for dinner Friday night within a budget that you set. In areas where it's appropriate for them to be involved in the decision making, the family meeting is a great way to do that. Reason number 2, the family meeting is also the perfect forum for problem solving. If you're having trouble with the morning routine or fighting over computer time or getting family contributions done each week, instead of you deciding what needs to be done, brainstorm solutions to those problems at the family meeting. I love this quote from the Center for Creative Leadership in Greensboro, North Carolina. You'll never get buy-in without weigh-in. Isn't that true? We'll never get real buy-in or even the hope of compliance if kids don't have some ownership in the process. Reason number 3, family meetings offer big-time skill-building opportunities. The skills kids learn in family meetings will serve them well into their adult lives. Family meetings teach life skills like leadership, problem solving, consensus building, planning, and even conflict resolution. They provide plenty of opportunities to practice all of these skills in a safe environment with real results. Number 4, the family meeting creates ritual. Family rituals are so important because they strengthen our sense of belonging and connectedness to each other. Most families have rituals around the holidays or religious celebrations, but other than that, we don't have as many rituals as we did in past generations. In today's society, we're so transient, most of us live away from family, so the ritual of going to grandma's house every Sunday for dinner just isn't an option anymore. A weekly family meeting creates a wonderful ritual that you and your kids will love. Now let's talk about the what. What is on the family meeting agenda? I recommend you start with the basics of the family meeting. Once you feel comfortable with that, you can add more elements down the road. The basic items on the family meeting agenda are compliments and appreciations, the calendar, allowance, snack, and a family fun activity. We'll talk about each one of those. Agenda item number 1 is compliments and appreciations. This is when every member of the family gives a compliment or appreciation to someone else. You'll start the process and model it for your kids. So if you have a spouse, you can say, "Thank you so much for helping me with carpool this week." To your son, you can say, "Thank you for helping me fold the laundry and put it away. That was such a huge help." To your daughter, you might say, "I've noticed how hard you've been working on your homework lately. You should really feel proud of yourself." Everyone in the family will take a turn giving a compliment or appreciation to everybody else. Your kids will love this. They'll sit anxiously just waiting to hear the compliments, especially from their siblings. Beginning with compliments and appreciations is also a great way to start the family meeting on a really, really positive note. It also helps to train our kids to graciously give a compliment and receive a compliment. Many adults still struggle with how to gracefully receive compliments, so this is a great training opportunity for that. If you haven't done compliments and appreciations before, it may seem a little awkward at first, but after a few times, it'll just become a natural way to start the meeting. Everybody will look forward to it, and it just sets things off on a nice positive tone. If someone doesn't feel comfortable doing compliments and appreciations at first, they can pass. But with a few times, it'll feel comfortable to everyone. Agenda item number 2 is the weekly calendar. You'll review the upcoming week's schedule so everyone's on the same page. The calendar may include a parent's travel or meeting schedule, which nights you have a babysitter, who has school activities that week, which transportation needs do you have, our social plans, all of those things that make up our crazy busy family lives. We recommend keeping a master family calendar so everyone can see what's going on. For young kids who can't yet read or write, you can use stickers to indicate the week's activities. So use a baseball sticker to indicate which day he has t-ball practice. That visual reminder gives kids a sense of control, and it reduces anxiety because they can keep track of what's going on during the week and they know what comes next. For kids over the age of 7 or 8, you can encourage them to use their own calendar on paper or a mobile calendar for tweens and teens. Either way, it fosters planning and organizational skills early on. When you're reviewing the calendar, you'll inevitably have some schedule conflicts, and that's great because it gives kids an opportunities to practice communication, problem solving, and flexibility. With the hectic pace of family life, taking 5 minutes to review the weekly schedule with everyone will do wonders to relieve stress and anxiety for parents and for kids. Now, agenda item number 3 is allowance. That's a great reason to come to a family meeting, isn't it? In an earlier session, we learned about the importance of allowance as a training tool to teach our kids how to save, spend, budget, invest, and give charitably. The family meeting is a great time to hand out the allowance. You can give allowance in an envelope. Your kids will probably like the very official feel of that, almost like getting a paycheck. Again, if you're not sure how to do the no strings attached allowance, review the advanced module on that topic. Agenda item number 4 is snack. Of course, every good meeting has food, and eating, even snacking as a family, is a bonding opportunity. You can decide whether you want to have healthy snacks or something indulgent, but the snack is a great way to close out the meeting. It also gives kids a chance to contribute because they can help plan or prepare or serve the family snack. Just to maintain a sense of order in your meeting, it's usually best to serve the snack after the business part of the meeting, but a snack will just make the meeting more fun for everybody. And the last agenda item after snack is the family fun activity. Every family meeting should end with a family fun activity. It doesn't have to take a long time. It can be as quick and easy as everybody telling a joke. Or if you have a little bit more time, you might do a family story or play a game, look at family videos, take a bike ride, whatever you like to do as a family. Pick an activity that allows everyone to participate. The great thing about the family fun activity is we're all in the child ego state. Remember from session 1, that's the ego state in which the emotional connections are made. The family fun activity allows you to emotionally connect and really strengthens those feelings of belonging and significance. And it ends the meeting on a high note so everyone looks forward to the next time. Now, these are the basics of the family meeting, and I encourage you to get started with this as soon as possible. Trust me, you'll love these meetings and you'll come to rely on them. Once you have the basics of the family meeting mastered, you can add additional elements depending on the ages of your kids and your family needs. You'll be the judge of when you're ready to add new elements. But maybe you are ready to make your meetings a little meatier. Let me walk you through some of the additional elements that you could add. One thing you can add is other agenda items that anybody else wants to talk about. So it might be plans for an upcoming trip to the beach, birthday party plans, whatever anybody wants to talk about as a family. This is a great way to get everyone on the same page and also ask for input when you're making decisions. Another element you can add is problem solving. Each week, you can discuss a dilemma as a family. Perhaps it's a sibling conflict that came up during the week and the kids couldn't work out a solution. If that's the case, they can put it on the family meeting agenda and you can discuss it as a group. It can be any problem the family's experiencing, big or small. Maybe somebody's hogging the bathroom or dad's frustrated because family contributions aren't getting done. Bring those issues to the family meeting and discuss them as a group. That'll be so much more empowering than mom or dad laying down the law and decide what the program is going to be. By getting everybody's input, the whole family will buy into the solutions that you come up with and will be much more likely to implement them. Also, solving problems as a group, as a team, teaches essential life skills. Think about it: communication, cooperation, negotiating, empathy for another person's point of view, teamwork. These are all life skills our kids will need to be successful in school and into adulthood. And they can learn them at home in the family meeting. Now, when tackling problems, be sure to follow one ground rule, and that is, if you bring a problem to the family meeting, you also have to bring one or two solutions. Also, be sure everyone is using their calm voice and I feel statements so that the tone doesn't get accusatory. Some families also use a talking stick or a beanbag or some other tool to remind everyone that only one person can talk at a time. These are important lessons for your kids to learn, but they can take some time to get the hang of it, especially for the littler ones. You can also add training as an additional agenda item. Earlier in the course, we talked about the importance of taking time for training, but sometimes it feels like we just never have enough time to actually do that. Well, the family meeting provides a time and a forum to do the training. You can role play phone manners, gracefully leaving a play date without a scene, table manners, any of those things where you feel that training is required. For older kids, you can talk about social media etiquette, scripts for standing up for yourself and saying no. You can also reverse roles and let your kids train you on how to use a new online platform or a photo editing site. It can be any topic in which they have more expertise than you do, which will be super empowering for them. The family meeting is also a great forum to practice those conflict resolution skills we covered in session 5, like using the calm voice, withdrawing from conflict, using I feel messages, and all the others we talked about. The more practice kids get trying out those skills in a low-key, fun environment, the more likely they'll be to use those skills in the heat of the moment. Beyond training, another element that you can introduce to the family meeting is note-taking. You can assign a note-taker each week who records any decisions that are made during the week. At the end of the meeting, the note-taker will summarize what you've discussed so everybody's on the same page. What great modeling for how a meeting is actually run. And of course, you may think of your own elements that you'd like to add. Family meetings are a perfect tool to take and make your own. The benefits of the family meeting are limitless and truly offer a power-packed dose of belonging and significance. They are mind, body, and soul time for the whole family. With that said, family meetings will run more smoothly if everyone follows some simple ground rules. So up next, you'll learn the 7 ground rules to get the best results for your family. I'll see you in the next lesson.